It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Denver Broncos and the Chicago Bears. And it kicks off next on Madden NFL 24.
They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Chicago Bears. Brandon Gaudin joined as always by Charles Davis. Charles, the Bears trying to piece things back together after a tough 3-14 campaign. They've got one guy they can build around, though, and that's Justin Fields.
And he is quite the talent, and they're trying to build around him indeed because they've added pieces in free agency, added pieces in the NFL draft. They want to get away from him having to use his legs as much as he did in 2022. They want to be able to throw the ball and move the ball downfield that way as well.
And then for our visitors, the Broncos, 5-12 was their record last year, one of the bigger underperforming teams in the league. Injuries to guys like Javonte Williams certainly hurt. But what do you think they need to do, Charles, to turn it around?
They need to build a more cohesive offensive line. They've struggled in that spot for the last couple of seasons. And a defense that's often very good has to tackle better in the open field.
Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. Scott on the return out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. So here come the Bears to take over on offense behind their third-year quarterback, former Ohio State Buckeye Charles, Justin Fields.
We all knew Fields was an incredible athlete coming out of college, and last season he unleashed it upon the NFL. Ran for over 1,100 yards and would have broken the quarterback single-season record if he had played the full season. He also threw 17 touchdown passes, and that's the next jump for him. More consistency as a passer.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Now a 2nd and 10. In motion left, Claypool. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Back to throw, Fields. That is caught, and he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after one. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Throwing again is Fields. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. DJ Jones busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
On 2nd down, here's Fields. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On fourth down, Chicago brings out Trenton Gill. Back deep for Denver, the rookie Marvin Mims. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. Well, the Broncos offense gets set to go to work, and at the helm in his second season wearing orange and blue, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports
Not too much to show you in
report.
terms of scoring
Coach.
plays. In fact, there's nothing to show you. A scoreless tie here at the half. Both of these defenses have been outstanding thus far.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. So no scoring in our first half. What will the second half bring as we are now back underway? And he won't quite make it to the 25. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And Charles, a scoreless first half. How does that change how you assess things here moving forward?
Well, it doesn't change it a whole lot because remember, it's still scoreless, which means you're starting from 0 again, so you just have one half to play instead of 2. What I would look at my play sheet, though, and see is something that maybe loosens things up for my guys, gets a smile on their faces, and gets them going to begin the second half.
On first down, Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Now the third-year man back and healthy. It's Javonte Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and a yard. Wilson to throw. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. A big play here as the crowd noise rises. 3rd and 1. Now Wilson. Steps away to his left.
From here on, any score could be the winning one, and he is certainly aware of that. Look at the way he locked in on that marker and made a mad scramble to get to it for the first down.
All 3 timeouts remain. How much that'll matter remains to be seen. It's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wilson. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command and make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So it all rests now on the right leg of Will Lutz. This from Tom Dempsey range here. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This from long, very long range. And this one is no good. He missed it. And still nothing on the scoreboard. It remains a scoreless tie.
Boy, that's a big-time letdown there. You work yourself in position to win the game, but the kick winds up no good. And now you've got to regroup as a team, get the energy back up, and get ready for overtime. And make sure you pump him up, too. He may be needed to try and win it again later.
Here's 1st down. Here's Fields. Here we go. This to avoid overtime. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
So it's the Broncos who are going to get the first shot at things. They'll have it here as we start in overtime. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Denver's offense now set to go. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the posts. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
Wilson's throw taken in by Sutton. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On second down, Wilson. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Throwing is Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. So 3rd down coming up. And Charles, I guess the question for me, where does 4-down territory begin possibly?
I guess for me it begins if you have 4th and 5 or less, because you got to understand your team and know what your play calls are. What do you have that you think you're confident that you can pick up that type of yardage? It might be 4th and 3 for some teams, but I think anything under 4th and 5, they'll think about going for it.
And that's caught by Williams. And he will have a Broncos 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. They go back to the ground with Williams. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd and 7. Now Wilson. Incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. Here's Wilson to throw. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance, you got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct, because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about it.
And a fake here, direct snap to the end man. But he will not come anywhere close to the 1st down marker, and that gives us a turnover on downs. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And the Bears will get the football back. First throw in overtime by Fields. Looking for the out route, and he's got more. And now the timeout comes in with just 1 second left in overtime. A man who led the league in yards per carry last year, it's Khalil Herbert. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. 1 overtime. How about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that second overtime in just a moment. Now a 2nd and 6. Now it's Fields. His throw incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. He did not have a catch till that moment. Pretty good time for his first one, though, here in OT.
I would agree with that. And just think about how they had to cycle through all the play sheets, right? Tried to find ways to get a lot of people the football. In this case, as you said, he hadn't had a catch all game. Now they find him in a key moment. Really well done.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. On 2nd down, a run with Herbert. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 20-yard line. Here's Fields. Pass incomplete.
Just nowhere to go with the football. He was forced to put that one into Lake Michigan. I think his receivers have to do a better job of working free because he didn't have anywhere to go at all on that play.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Herbert powering up the middle. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. So the OT clock hits 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. 3rd down and 10. Now Fields. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Josie Jewell, the linebacker, getting the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So here's Cairo Santos on the field goal try. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And the kick is good. And finally, this one is over. We thought it may never end. But that kick puts the exclamation mark on it. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the third drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
So that'll do it for my partner,